So, hello everyone. Welcome to the ECON1310 Introductory Statistics for Social Sciences. I'm Francisco Tavares Garcia, and I'll be guiding you through these tutorials at 4 p.m. From now until the end of this quick semester, which is the summer semester. And I'll get going. I'll start with talking a little bit about myself, and then my plan is to ask a little bit about you guys, and then explain how the course is going to work. And then we go to the list of exercises that we have. We don't need to rush too much now in the beginning, but it will be, that's a little bit the plan we have. So feel free to jump in, to say something. If by any chance the sound is not working all right, let me know. Also, if you guys would like me to speak a little bit more slowly because it's hard to understand or more rushing too much, or maybe if you want me to speak faster, also feel free to say that. Maybe I might be dragging doing it too slow. But well, I'll start talking about myself. Who doesn't like that, right? So I was born in 1986, so I'm possibly older than most of you, if not all of you. I did computer science from 2004 to 2008. I worked for a company called Procter & Gamble from 2008 to 2012. Already working with data and analyzing data, etc. So doing a little bit of the statistics we're going to discuss. Then while I was working there, Procter & Gamble is also the owner of Gillette. So if you guys don't know the name of the company, yeah, at least Gillette you might recognize. And then I did an MBA. I had a hostel that's where I met my wife, who's Australian, and I moved to Australia in 2018. And I always wanted to do economics, and I finally got the courage. All right, let's do a second degree. And I started last year in 2021. I've been studying statistics during my degree. So I thought I would just list a few things that I've done here. I did this course in the beginning of last year. Also, I did ECON1310 Introductory Econometrics, which is econometrics, and it tends to use a lot of statistics in that. So I did statistical theory for economists, also did applied econometrics for macro, and did two courses with the School of Mathematics, Stat 2003 and Stat 2004, which I just finished. So I've been looking at a lot of statistics recently. I think you won't be surprised by that. So that is it about me. I don't want to extend myself too much. I thought, as how many people do we have here? 23 people. It's quite a little bit. So I'll start flexing your muscles and your skills on Zoom. My idea is for us to try to explore a little bit some functionalities that Zoom has. And to also first check if you know how to use it. And second, probably speed up how you can jump in and start doing when I put a poll or a whiteboard there, or if I invite you guys to annotate something on the screen, you already know how to do that, right? Let's start with a poll. I would like to start with here. I would like to check who here is in Australia and who isn't. I also would like to check, can you guys see the answer on the screen? Just so I know.
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay, because I have it just open in the middle of my screen. That's good to know. Well, it's quite an interesting result that is coming. I think that's quite a good amount of answers. I had 16 answers, 17, and we have 23 people there. So it seems like most of you already know how to make a simple vote, which is pretty cool. Let me open the chat also if necessary. I might have in the little corner here. I don't think I'll have it open. And you guys let me know if I miss a chat. That's excellent. I can see 18 people voted. Let's maybe one might be myself not voting, now 19. Maybe all the people might not be in front of their computer or something. Or maybe they're still trying to figure out how to make their vote. But it's pretty good. I will enter this poll. I would like to share the results. Can you guys see? This is a little bit of the crowd we have today. Apparently around a little bit more than a third of the people are in Australia. And most of you, almost 2/3, are not in Australia at the moment, which is really nice. I think it will expand a little bit our possibilities and our discussions. I think this is pretty cool. Right now, I'm opening all the windows. Can I see if you guys know how to send a thumbs up? It's an emote. It's probably in the bottom of your screen. 1, 2, I can see 2, 3, 4. If you guys don't know how to do it, 5, nice. Have a look. I think sometimes I might ask to have some feedback. And while you're in the beginning, it might take us a little bit of searching and seeing how to do it. I think with time, you guys will be pretty quick to react, and that will probably make our interaction easier. I think that is fantastic. I think most of us were able to send a thumbs up. If you haven't, have a look how to do it. It's a very quick way for me to get some feedback of what's going on. I can stop sharing this guy. Close poll. Now we're going to do one more thing to learn a little bit more and also share with everybody where we are. Not exactly. Well, I'm thinking what I prefer. Given the two-thirds of the people, where is whiteboard? Whiteboard. Remote control. Oh, sorry. This is the first. This is not. I don't think it's the first time I'm trying to see. I thought it would be very quick for me to open a whiteboard. Apps. Not this. Apps. Let's see if it's going to open. Now I would like you guys. The question I put on was, what is the furthest place you've been from Australia? But I will actually meeting, whiteboard. I'm very sorry. I can't see how to put the whiteboard on. New share. There we go. Share. Can you see your whiteboard?
Yeah, but how can we write on the whiteboard?
Perfect question. The thing is, I prepared one whiteboard with amazing. So can you see that I have a few options here? For example, draw and color. I'll write the beginning of my name, Francisco. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Amazing, guys. So like, if you click and draw, or maybe you can click text on top of your screen. This is my text. I wrote my name. Would you like to try to write yours?
But how?
Can you? There is let me see. I don't think you guys can see my panel here. I'm moving something around. And it says select, text, draw, stamp, spotlight, eraser. Should be in the top of your screen, I would expect. If you move your mouse to the top of the screen, can you see it? That's so good. That's so good. That's so good. I can see someone else was able to do it. That's all right. I won't spend too much on this one, but we can try more times later. It's more like a training. I can see some of you were able to draw a little bit. Let me close. I can clear all drawings, but I can also close this thing here. Well, thank you guys for interacting. Oh no, it stopped to sharing everything. Let me share my screen again, my PowerPoint. Can you see my PowerPoint? Perfect. So let's go. I think one last thing. This is pretty okay. I'm enrolled. I had a question here saying I'm enrolled in another course and over summer as well. The subject is a prerequisite. Do you think I can handle doing both subjects at the same time? It is.
Yeah, that's me, Francisco.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Thank you for showing. So ECON1310, right? Let me
Yeah.
just.
I just
Yeah.
I enrolled in it.
Let me double check that. My experience. Oh, sorry, Alex. Yeah, you can conclude.
Yeah, it's this subject's a prerequisite for it, and given I am planning to major in finance, this subject is one of the subjects needed to major in finance. So I figured it was a good opportunity over summer. These subjects were available to enroll in them. But
Sure.
I'm a little worried because it's my first third year subject, and I've listened to the lectures just this week. Oh, there's a tutorial at 5 p.m. as well. Yeah, I'm a little worried. I've got until the 18th of December to unenroll.
Yeah. To decide, right? Look, think of I haven't done this course, so I can't judge, but think about in a certain way. Summer, it goes twice as fast as a normal semester. So if you one course, if we recommend 10 hours a week for one course during a normal semester, I would recommend 20 hours a week for one course during summer.
The subject, I'm going to ask today at 5. They're saying 2.5 hours a day.
Yeah,
and I'm like, that seems quite a lot.
Yeah,
but I didn't realize it's double the speed.
it is. It's
I've
just
never
a
done
few
a summer
weeks.
semester before.
Yeah, so maybe it's a good idea to think about maybe. Oh, see. So I would say if you're doing 2 courses, only do it if you can put like 40 hours a week, like
But I've
full-time
still got to
study.
work maybe one day a week, to cover my expenses.
Yeah, but definitely, yeah. Look, still, feel free to give a call to either Bell to discuss these things with them.
Worst case, I'll unenroll out of that, and I'll just continue this over the summer.
Yeah, no, good luck with it.
Because this is a compulsory as well for my commerce degree.
Definitely, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
No, perfect. And talking about compulsory, that's kind of my leeway for one last poll. This, I think, it would demand some honesty from you, but it's more for all of us to have a feel how the class is feeling. Like, how much do you like statistics? And you probably like have some ideas already. Hopefully, either it will still be the same, or we can improve your ideas on statistics. But look, there's no problem. Be super honest. There's no problem. It doesn't matter. You won't be evaluated on this one. To my knowledge, I don't even think we can see who voted. But yeah, you're definitely not going to be evaluated on this answer. I felt like putting on the question would make it a little bit fun. And you guys can.
Francisco, what's Python?
It's a programming language.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I had 18 votes. Anybody else? Still 19 votes. Think we are 26, so up to 25 votes. It's been in 1 minute. 20 votes. That's great. I will end the poll at the moment. And yeah, that's it. So you guys, I'll share the results. Look, So I got 0 votes for I love statistics. I think it is interesting. I got a lot. It's 10 out of 20, pretty good. And neutral, 9 out of 20. I don't really like statistics. I didn't get 1 vote. And I got 1 saying I'm only doing it because I have to.
That's
So I think that's not too bad. It could be worse. No, actually, I thought it could be even a little bit more negative than that. Very good. You guys are open to learn a little bit more of the statistics. I'm sure if we do this poll by the end of the semester, it will be like probably the top 2 answers for most people. But great, thanks, guys. I think it was good. It's good to know that everybody's kind of in the same place. I hope there was a lot of honesty there. And also for people who are watching later, I hope you guys can see these things. Please let me know if you can't see the polls. The next ones I will have a print in the slide. All right, I'll stop sharing. And let's go now for the real things, right? Let's talk about the course and what we have to do. I don't think this is the first course for anybody, but please let me know and message. You can message in the chat if this is the first course you're doing at UQ. But I'm going to review just some quick stuff, very simple things that you probably already know. You notice by the end of the second semester that the Learn UQ changed a little bit. It's not much. I will start sharing the other screen. I'll start sharing my whole screen. So this is my PDF. Let me see if I can open. So you will see that now your thing looks more like this. Not exactly the same because I'm tutor, but it's a little different face for Learn UQ, and you have the messages there. The rest is the same. It just flows in a different way. Can you see it sliding? Basically, so you will find ECON1310, the little S, it's the summer. Let's click on it. And to watch classes, you will click in Learning Resources, and then you have a little intro for call. And for example, lecture 1, you can click that. There will be PDFs that you can see. If you want to print something, you have 6 PDFs per slide. Let me close this one. Sorry, I have a lot of things on my screen. I'll close this one, or this one is good for making some notes, taking some notes, the 3 per page. And if you want just the full thing, usually I'll try to use, I'll try to use this one here, which is just 1 slide per page. Okay. How do I back to here, and you watch every video, all the videos. Each of our tutorials will be about one of these lectures. So on Thursday, our tutorial will be talking about lecture 2 already. So yeah, try not to fall too much behind. That's what I wanted to say about our course. We base ourselves in these books, which have a lot of authors. This semester is probably the last semester we're using Australasian Business Statistics, the 4th edition. Possibly next semester we'll move into this one, but it's the same authors, the same things, as you might have seen some messages from Dominic talking about it. I'll go back to announcements, and you notice there's also this opportunity you have for subscribing for Wiley for $1 per month at the beginning to access the books. You can access these books for already part of your tuition in the library. The only thing I'll call your attention is there is a limit. For example, this one has a limit of 6 books. So institution has access to 6 copies of the same book. So if more than 6 people try to open it, like every number after 6 won't be able to open. That's the only thing. Disadvantage of library. You also can't save the PDF to your computer, at least not the whole book. Probably if you have the subscription, you will have. But that's it about the books. So most important thing you need to know, how to complete this course, how to pass, right? Pretty important. You will see that we have 2 CMLs, quiz 1, quiz 2, and then 1 LBRT. Then 2 CMLs, 1 LBRT. 2 CMLs, 1 LBRT. For the first 5 quizzes, you also have a second attempt. You'll be able to like get your results, study a little bit more, and then attempt again. It won't be the same questions. We have quite a large database of questions, so you might it's not like just redoing the same questions, but it's a good idea to try to solve yours again and to try before your second attempt. The first attempt, you will see, will be open tomorrow, and you have until the 12th, which is Monday, if I'm not mistaken, at 4. Hope you guys can still see my screen. The 12th is going to be on Monday. Okay. What else do I want? Yeah, and I think you guys might have heard. Oh, but I heard there's an IVA, Identity Verified Assessment. So, the IVA is it works a little bit like that. Not everyone will have to do an IVA. It's just a few people probably might have to do. And what we wanted to know about this IVA process is the following. If someone's not attending the tutorial in person, that's important for if you're watching this video after the tutorial happened. If you're not attending it in person, or even if you're attending but you're not interacting at all with us, it's very hard for us to know if you are the person who's solving the CMLs or the LBRTs, or if someone else is doing it, or if there's anything else going on. So the more you can attend tutorials and interact, the better it's going to be. The smaller the chance of us inviting you for a Identity Verified Assessment, the IVA, by the end of the semester. IVA is pretty quick. It's showing here 15 minutes. It will be an oral interview, so we're probably asking you 3-4 questions. You have to open the camera and talk to us. We need to see you, confirm that you are the person. That's how it works for the IVA. Let's go. But for most of the people, I'm sure like you'll be attending the tutorials. This is how you conclude this course. So basically, you need to receive at least 50% for a pass, which is a GPA of 4. You guys probably are used to how GPAs work at the moment. And there is also something we call a hurdle. If you haven't heard before, it means we need you to get at least 40%. So 40% or more on your CMLs, and also 40% or more on your LBRTs. So because LBRTs are 60%, so 24 marks, and CMLs are in total are 40%, total of 16 marks. I'll come back a little bit, just a tiny bit. So basically, you have 2 attempts for this one, 2 attempts for this one, and everything you have 2 attempts until but the last quiz. There's no second attempt for the last quiz. For LBRT, I'm not sure if I'm contradicting myself, but LBRT, you have 2 attempts for all of them. The quizzes, the questions are different. So it's interesting, but for the CML quiz, it's actually recommended that you sit with a friend to try to solve it together. You guys have quite a span, as you can see, quite a long period to do it. So maybe you can help each other, because probably you have different questions. While for the LBRT, then we need you to do it by yourself. And from my experience, it is it is a short period of time you have to solve. Although we give you like the weekend to do it. Let me confirm if it's the weekend. LBRT first one would be 5th to the 6th of January. Oh no, Thursday to Friday for the summer semester. Oh no, that's a second attempt, very sorry. So 3 to 4 of January, you have 2 days to solve it. For LBRT1. It is, you will have just an amount of time. So it probably use all the time to solve the questions. That's my experience. So yeah. So that's how you pass, basically 50%, maybe a combination of things, but you need at least 40% in your CMLs, at least 40% in LBRT. Another thing, last thing, I promise, your CMLs, we will consider just the best 5 out of 6 CMLs. So you not only have 2 attempts for the 5 first ones, but also we will discount the worst CML that you have. So yeah, pay attention, take advantage while in the beginning, while the course is easy, take advantage of what we're doing. And I think that's pretty important. If you guys need help, you know how to contact us. Dominic then is our course coordinator, so you can just shoot straight emails to him if you need to contact any of us. Talk to he's by far the most knowledgeable among us, but yeah, if you want something to be asked specifically for one of the tutors, also you can put the name if you feel like. Also, you can, if it's a question about the CML, feel free to send an email to cml.1310@UQ. And the most important thing, the consultations. Like, take advantage if you're having struggling with something within the course, take advantage. We'll have consultation every weekday, as you can see. Usually it's Brisbane's afternoon, but I can see like 2/3 of you here in this tutorial are not in Brisbane at the moment. So we have all these options for you to choose. So any weekday you can jump in and do go for a consultation and ask your questions. Let me have a look. I think that is it that I had to say. So before we start the tutorial, I would like to open here. Do you guys would like to ask anything about the course itself before we start the tutorial? Oh, we can see their chats. Let's see. This is the first week. Exactly. You have to attend every tutorial. I can see some open questions here. So it is better to attend all the tutorials. If by any chance you can't attend, if you feel like justifying, let us know, but you can watch it later. We want to see, as you know, it's possible to track who attends the tutorial or not. So we'll probably compile everybody who's attended. If you miss 1 tutorial, 2 tutorials, like pretty much, I think we will consider that you attended every tutorial. But if you miss a lot of tutorials, then you start moving to that group that we're going to do the RVA, like invite for invitation. It's important not to be like super worried about the interview, but it is different, right? Like if you have to answer things that are asked to you on video, in person, I think I consider it, maybe it's a little bit more challenging than if you can sit down doing your CML by yourself and spend some time researching. It's a little bit different, right? This is someone else asked if this is the first week. Yes, it is. This is the first tutorial. And the other person, last one, is the final score for each CML, the highest score from 2 attempts. It is, but let me double check. Let me confirm that for you. Because I hope you guys can see my screen. It says I'm sharing the whole screen. Let me open ECON1310. If you Google ECON1310 UQ, you'll be able to find this is the ECP, Electronic Course Profile. Inside of that, you can look for, this is every time we offer the course up down to 2013. And our current offer, you'll find here, summer semester 2022 course profile. So I open it here, and let's go to assessment. If you go to assessment, item number 5, it's exactly the same screens that I had. There's quite a lot of information, which is a good idea for you to have a read, and to be on top of how you're going to be evaluated, right? That works for every course. It's a good idea to know. Let's go CML. For step by step, an optional second attempt is given. Each CML quiz opens and closes the dates. If one attempt is submitted and a score received for a CML quiz, either the first attempt or just the second attempt, that quiz will contribute towards the student. If both first and second attempts are submitted, the student's best score of the 2 attempts, so she won, it will be the best score. Just showing you how it works to find. Yeah, I also received one last question. Hi, Francisco. I know this class is full, but this is the only tutorial session I can attend. The other 2 tutorials clash with courses. We got this message for probably more than one student. At this moment, they had a limit of 55 places for the tutorials, for each of the tutorials, but it seems there's quite some demand for this 4 p.m. tutorial. Make sure you send an email to, if by any chance you're enlisted to another tutorial, or you haven't assigned yourself to any of the tutorials. Go to your timetable and try to assign, and you can send an email to Dominic Byrne, asking him if he can move to this one. There is a chance they will just move you, and there's also a chance they will put you on a wait list. In the case of the student, he can't attend the other 2, so there probably has a good chance you can prove your clash with other courses, and they will be able to allocate you to this one. Any other question before we start the tutorial? I can see at the moment nothing in the chats and nothing in the on voice. Feel free to unmute yourself and jump in if you feel like. Feel free. Also, I mentioned to the other ones. Again, like, you don't have to, but it helps us to recognize you. If there's some picture, either your profile or something with your name, it probably helps the tutor to notice, okay, this person, I've seen this person a few times during tutorials. Look, we don't need to invite this person for an IVA because they are usually there, usually interacting. So yeah, you don't need to do it now, but maybe consider it for the next ones. It's always a good idea. Well, the IVA is not like, okay, there's an exact measure. You will fall, you do an interview or not. But the more you, once again, to repeat myself, the more you interact, the more you show up, the smaller the chance is that you're going to be invited for one.
Sorry, that the profile photo has to be my own picture, or you can see my profile photo right now. It's a cat in a house.
I think it should be. It doesn't have to be a picture. I think
Okay.
your profile picture is quite recognizable. Yeah, and it's nice that you're usually jumping in with the mic, opening the microphone and talking. Always a good thing, though.
Okay, thank you.
No worries. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, for now, I'll leave it open for you guys. Anytime you guys want to jump in, just open your mic, start talking. Don't mind interrupting me. If by any chance it becomes, at a certain point, it becomes too much, I might establish a different rule. But for now, it's open. You guys can attend anytime, right? So the tutorial, we have the tutorial 1. It says week 2, but basically because you have your classes in a week and your tutorials happen in the next week, right? That's why this tutorial 1 is happening on week 2. On Thursday will be tutorial 2. I think it's pretty clear how to open, but why not going through it again, right? So if you're on your portal or dashboard, you go to learn UQ, then you're going to choose 1310S, summer. Then you're going to click on learning resources. We're still in learning, but instead of clicking on lecture, let me see, we have tutorial activities. Let's click that. And you'll find this Word document there. This is the first tutorial. You already have the second tutorial available if you want to open it. If you click in my computer, it offers to save, so I will cancel. I could open it, but you will notice that I have print screen for each of the questions, so I'll just stick with my PowerPoint, if that's all right. And our objective today is to talk, if you guys haven't had a chance of watching the videos, and if by any chance you're watching this video later, make sure you watch the lectures first. It's not too long. I haven't calculated, but I don't think it goes for 1.5 hours this week. If you haven't, like, let's continue here and interact with us. But our idea is to start talking about what is statistics, define the basic things we talk about. There will be one picture that we show quite often and will be very helpful. And so we'll talk about also types of data and the methods to do on how to sample. Difference between descriptive. Yeah, that's basically outlining what we're going to do. And let's go for question 1 then. Question 1. What is statistics? Explain the difference between descriptive statistic and inferential statistic. And then explain why inferential statistic is not required if we have a census, right? We have some time to solve it. I'm pretty sure I can click one more without showing the answer. So, guys, now feel free to, would you like to jump in, open your mic and try to explain what is statistics? Or I'll give you one option to feel free to jump on the microphone. If you look at the top of your screen, there will be a button saying annotate. If you move your mouse, if you click that, it will give you a few options. And you have an option to write on the screen. And please let me know if who can see what you share. Please let me know if you can't annotate. I saw that you guys could interact with the whiteboard. So click annotate and see if you guys can write something on screen, please. Or jump in or send on a chat too, also an option. Amazing. I can see the type could write hi. That's great. Because I haven't received anything on chat yet. So anybody wants to try to explain what statistics is?
Hey, Francisco.
Hey, Noah, how are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. Oh, there we go. Looks like they already popped it in.
Amazing, yeah.
Beat me to it.
Okay, so inferential statistics was when you draw conclusions about large populations based on smaller population sample. Yeah, that's very correct. That's very precise. This is inferential statistics. So it is different from descriptive statistic. Anybody would like to jump in and try what is descriptive statistic? Maybe, well, Noah, you're welcome to jump in if you would like to try the other one. Or maybe explain the difference, or sorry, explain why we don't need inferential when we do a census.
Yeah, sure. So census data is already collected on the population, so we don't need to actually grab a smaller sample to tell us about the larger population?
Perfect. Excellent. That's exactly why we don't need to infer anything when we have a census, because we know the answer. We know what is the parameter we're looking for in the population, right? So what is the difference between descriptive statistic and inferential statistic? Anybody would like to have a go? Feel free to also annotate something on the screen. If you want to draw something, a beautiful picture, I think will be pretty cool. Feel free. Yeah. Difference, or someone trying to explain. We know inferential, right? Just explain descriptive statistic would be good enough. I have my chat open. Can you guys see? Because I shouldn't be showing the direct messages. Can I get a thumbs up if you guys can see my chat? Okay, that looks good, I hope. I have a filter, nothing bad, nothing too personal, but yeah, that's good. That's good to know. It's not possible to see. All right, I just kept it open. Harry, descriptive is presenting and describing the entirety of data, whereas inferential is only utilizing the sample. That's good. I think descripting is presenting and describing. I'll give my attempt to explain this one now. Good job, all of you guys jumping in and typing down and talking on the microphone. So what is a statistic? And I think it's a good idea to have the difference between both descriptive and inferential. And I'll start with descriptive. Descriptive statistic. I will do the following. Oh, sorry. I'll clear the drawings, close this one, and I'll try to go to the next slide where I have the answers. Defining the subject of statistics. This is removed. I'll try to use as much as I can from the material, from the slides, so you guys don't need to like add more things to already a lot of things you have to look at. So defining the subject is a branch of mathematics dealing with the analysis and interpretation of data. So usually we need statistics when we're talking about a big amount of data, right? So to stay with the example that we use in the lecture, if you ask me like, how old are Australians? And I'll say, well, Bob is 32, Sarah is 29, Francisco's 36, and then I continue going until I mention all the 25 million people that exist in Australia. And you're gonna say, this is crazy, like nobody does that, like this is ridiculous. But this is why we already use statistics in our day-to-day. You probably say, and I had a Google before just to double check if the numbers from call are right, and they're quite precise. If you ask how old Australians are, they are about, the mean age is 38 years. And why not Googling it again? Australia average 38.4. I hope you guys can still see here, which is pretty cool. So this is the mean, and this is one of descriptive statistics, right? And then we say, okay, so Australians are 38.4. All of them 38.4. Can I say someone comes like, yeah, they're all 38.5, also quite a ridiculous thing. We will be discussing it later, but then we give a little bit of variation in this data, which would be the standard deviation, and not a topic for today, but then you can say like, well, they are in average 38.4, but it varies a little bit like this. Another thing to describe a big amount of number, you could give the smallest number, the minimum, and the max. All of these are descriptive statistics. What else? There are some other things like skewness, kurtosis. I can't remember if it touched this, guys. Definitely not going to calculate. But you will see later on in statistics if you continue going on it. So what is statistics? This branch of mathematics that deals with a lot of data. Descriptive, you get a lot of data, and okay, mean, average, minimum, maximum, median. You probably know the mean is the same thing as average, but median is a little bit different. And there we go. Look, used to organize, explore, summarize data, present and makes data. Typically, it needs data to be collected, as we know. Inferential statistics, as you guys explained, it's when we infer something, we make about this total population based on the sample, and we explore a little bit more on how to do it in the next questions. But yeah, you guys did an amazing job answering this question. Let's go. Any question before we go to question 2? Yeah, feel free to jump in microphone. Let me open the chat. Chat's still the same. I will start moving to question 2, but feel free to open your mic or send a message, okay? Let's go. So, did I move back? I think I moved back. Oh, no. Yes, I understand now. So, define population, sample, parameter, and statistics. Statistic. Yep, anybody up for it?
Well, the population contains data from all of the group that you want to reach a conclusion about, whereas a sample is just like a portion of that population which you want to analyze.
Amazing. Very good. Very good. Would you like, or someone else would like to have a go for parameter and statistics? Oh, it's there already. Like, let me read. Statistics, a measure that describes the sample, and parameter is a measure that describes the whole population. Yes, that's correct. Are they connected, parameter and statistic? Are they usually connected?
Well, they essentially are, because parameters are mostly unknown. So you use the statistics to estimate like the value of the parameters.
Excellent. Very good. Yep, that's true. Usually, we're trying to look at the same thing. And I will, if you don't, for the person who wrote it here, I'm sorry, I will erase now just to block the. Do I need to erase? Let's jump on the name. I might leave it there just for this slide. So, as you saw in the lecture, population is everybody. We want to know what we're researching about. For example, age, right? In our lecture, we had the population was the world, the age of everybody in the world, 8 billion now since the most recent baby thing. The 8th billion was born, and we were taking Australia as a sample. So the age in population would be our parameter. And the age, as Australia is just a sample of the world population, then the age will be a statistic. And we probably would use that statistic to make an inference or to infer what is the age of the population, probably the average age. And yep, amazing job, guys. You did really well. Harry, congrats for your answer. I don't know how to, yeah, good. I don't know how to see who wrote. Sometimes it shows the name, sometimes it doesn't. Sorry if I'm not giving you credit. I think it was, no, I won't try it. I will erase now. Another thing, if you guys want to have a look, there's the last video we have from Carl. We'll be talking exactly about this type of data, and it's in here. You have the address here. You don't need to copy from mine. You just go to our lecture one and you'll be able to see it. All right. Any question before I move to 2? Now let me put the chat open. Still the same. I will move to 2. I think I usually take a little bit longer, so we still have another 40 minutes, 30-40 minutes of class. Let's continue. Let's go. So, question 2. A manufacturer. Oh, I'll focus on just one, and I'll give you guys a poll for this answer. A manufacturer of mint lollies claims that less than 10% of his product is defective. When 1,000 lollies were drawn from a large population run, 7.5% were found to be defective. What is the population of interest? What is the sample? What is the value of the parameter and the value of the statistics? I put a print here just in case you guys are watching it later. I just launched a poll for everybody. But yeah, if you guys are watching it from home after the tutorial, yeah, try to give it a go. See what you think each of the values are. We're getting the answers at the moment. I got one answer up to now, but I'll give you guys at least a minute. Please let me know if you guys can. You said you can't see the answer. I have it open on my screen. I hope not. I only have 4 answers up to now. You can take your time, a little bit more time if you need to think about it. I try to mix all the answers, as you can see here on the screen. So we can have different, probably different answers maybe. And I will now do it myself. Can I do a few things at the same time? I can annotate, spotlight. I want to highlight. How do I do that? Spotlight, got it. That's not highlight, but it's good enough. Look, a manufacturer of mint lollies claims that less than 10%. I hope you guys can see when I move my mouse there. Of his products is defective. So less than 10%, right? No, that's not what I wanted. Go back. I should stop clicking the screen. Okay, I'll stop clicking the screen so we don't show the answer. Look, I got 17 answers up to now out of 27 people. Maybe 18 answers. A few more people are there. Hope you guys still watching, still behind the screen. So the poll's been open for 2 minutes. I will end the poll and I'll share the results with you guys so you can see. So we had 4 choices of answers in there. As you can see, I believe I will show the correct answer. I believe most of you guys are right. So 12 out of 18 answers were that the population of interest is the whole production, everything that is produced by this manufacturer. The sample is the 1,000 lollies that were drawn to get this statistic, right? Then the parameter and the thing that we're trying to estimate is the manufacturer's claim of saying less than 10% of his products are defective. And then we were like, oh, how to check that? We took 1,000 lollies and we verified, and amongst those 1,000 lollies, 7.5% were defective. 7.5 out of 1,000 is around 75 lollies were defective. So pretty much we're saying he's probably right, or he's more right than wrong. And we will learn how to answer it in the future. But good job, most of you got the correct answer. I'll stop sharing this one, and I'll be more careful with the next one. Let me click slowly. Let me see. Next one. And I'll already show so you guys can have some time for the poll. I will launch the second one, and I'll also click here. Yes, that's what I want. Perfect. So a large company wanted to determine client satisfaction with their products and services. The director of marketing developed a questionnaire that yields a satisfaction score between 10 and 50 for participant responses. A random sample of the company's 900 clients is asked to complete the satisfaction survey. The satisfaction scores from the 35 participants are average to produce a mean satisfaction score. What is the population for this study? The sample, the statistic, what would be the parameter for this study? All right. So I got 5 answers up to now. You can take your time for this one. As you can see, I will start from what interests us. A random sample of the company's 900 clients. Is it the sample or is it the total clients, right? That's probably something you're thinking about right now. And then you'll see later that we talk the satisfaction scores for the 35 participants are average to produce a mean satisfaction score. It's another device there. So is it the sample or the parameter or the statistic? And then, yeah, I got up to now 16 answers. I have the poll open for 2 minutes. I'm still giving you guys maybe another minute for this one because I opened before I read the question. And if you say I read the question too slow, I will agree with you. Please let me know if you want to think a little bit faster. Got 18 answers up to now. We still have 27 people in the tutorial. So 19 answers. I think some of you might have it open or might have some difficulty answering the question. Feel free to open your mic or send a message on chat if you're having any difficulty or if perhaps you can't see the poll. It's 219. And I think I will close it. We have to open for 3 minutes. I'll end poll and I'll share results. I always found that sharing the results the funnier part of the polls to see like, oh, sometimes even if you're wrong, like you're not by yourself, or if you're right, if everybody got right, it's one thing. If almost nobody got right, but you did, yeah, different feelings, right? But I can see that. Let me see, what's the other sample for populations, right? I think 15 out of 20 of you got the right answer. 900 clients is our whole population. It's all the clients from the company. 35 participants. It's the sample that we took. That's why we have the satisfaction scores for the 35 participants are average. That was the hint to say who's the sample. And both parameter and statistic, what are we trying to find out? So the parameter is the satisfaction for all clients, and the statistics is the satisfaction inside of for our sample. And I said it the opposite in the wrong order, but basically the statistic, 35 participants, and the parameter, the satisfaction, sorry, statistics, the satisfaction for the 35, and the parameter is the same thing, satisfaction, well, for the whole population of 900 clients. Amazing job, guys. Most of you got it right. For the ones who didn't get it right, I can see it was a minimum mistake there for most of you. Just swap things, but you guys are good. Great job. I'll stop sharing it. We can move, before I move to question 3, any question? I will open a chat. Feel free to open your mic. I might be getting repetitive with the offering, but I just want it to be really, really relaxed in terms of opening, jumping in, and interact. It's really good when you interact. The answer was there. So let's try to work on this other one. Coca-Cola and Pepsi display intense competition in their marketing campaigns featuring TV stars, rock videos, endorsements by well-known athletes, etc. Suppose as part of Pepsi marketing campaign, 1,000 cola consumers are given a blind test. I think you guys probably saw there were commercials about it some time ago. So during a blind test, you put both colas, they try both and say which one they like better. So a blind taste test, for example, a taste test in which two brand names are not recognizable by the participants. Each consumer is asked to state a preferred preference for brand A or brand B, describe the population, the variable of interest, and the sample and the inference. And once again, amazing. You can see, think about it, population, sample.
I'm sorry about that. I'm just trying to write something. Sorry.
No worries. No, feel free. Yeah, jump in. There's no problem. Do you want me to erase it?
That's okay.
Sure. Okay, so population, and I would like you guys to click, move your mouse to the top and click annotate, and then so you can start writing things. I will myself write something here, so you guys, population. All right, 2 points, and sample, sample 2 points. What is the order? Population, variable of interest. Okay, so parameter. So then it asks sample and the inference. Feel free to write a little bit there. I probably won't spend too long on the question, but feel free to write in front of it if you have an idea. You can click, if you click annotate, one option is text. You can click on text. And someone would like to open the mic and answer. I can see, I think Konja, no. No pressure. All right, so look, I will let's see what's going on. I will move on with this one, right? I will close my annotate here and let's go there. So in here, the population we're thinking about when we're doing this marketing researches is actually all cola consumers, because these companies want to know if they can sell more of their product to other people. You could say perhaps, oh, it's everybody. Maybe there are people who are not consumers of, I'm saying cola, it could be Coke, Pepsi, or the other ones. These people are a little bit harder for a cola product to reach. So usually you're thinking about the potential customers, which will be all cola consumers. Variable of interest is pretty much how many people prefer one product other than the other? You will notice that we're saying A and B here. We're not making it really clear if it's Coke, Pepsi, or anybody else, Coca-Cola. The sample is just 1,000 consumers. So we have the number for the sample, but we don't have for the population. It's a massive number, probably. And the inference is to use, I wrote down, to use the proportion we found in the blind test. First, I described as a test where you cover your eyes and have both drinks. You don't need to cover your eyes, probably. You can just cover the can so long as the person doesn't know, can't see the brand. And I'm going to add something. I'll clear all the drawings here. And you see, like, to use the proportion we found in the blind test to infer something about the population. As I said before, infer means, and I went to Google and had a look for the definition they have. Google has a document, you just say define infer. And that's what I found. To deduce or conclude something from evidence and reasoning rather than from explicit statements. It's a little bit complicated here, but basically we're concluding something about the population using some reasoning. So basically using our statistics. So we're concluding something about a parameter using our statistics. Something about a population using what we found in a sample, right? And that's it for question 3. Short and simple. Any questions? Oh, I have them. Harry, amazing. All color consumers, sample 1,000, generalize. Fantastic, amazing answer. I'm sorry, I didn't see it before, but good job, Harry. I need to be quicker with the chat. Apologies for that. And if you don't have any questions for this one, I'll start moving to question 4. In question 4, there will be a few questions in that, but we will be discussing census and sampling. So explain the difference between a census and a sample survey. We pretty much talked about it already, and then list 3 examples where we rely on a sample information rather than a census, because on one side, census would be too expensive to do, and on the other side, the product is destroyed in the process of making the observation. And by the end of it, what other reasons are there for using sample data rather than census data? I have split the screen a little bit, so I'll click here. So if you want to put some definition, let's use this area. I hope you guys can see my mouse moving. Can I get some thumbs up if you see my mouse? Where I'm moving my mouse? Maybe not, maybe don't. Amazing. You know what? Thank you. So you can see where my mouse is. That's great. So you can explaining here, maybe give me some examples. Let's try to list a few things. If a census would be too expensive, so would you use some sampling and infer the value? And here are other examples where the product is destroyed, so we can't just destroy everything. Otherwise, there's no point on doing it. Great, thank you for that. We have an answer already. And if you guys have time, or if you want to also give it a go to try something else, some other motives, please add it on the bottom here. I like the answer here. So a census would be too expensive to do TV ratings. True. If you would like to measure exactly an amount, oh, look, let's see how many people are watching. And you need to look right now. I want to look at everybody for every TV. This is what they're watching right now. And then you're calculating the TV ratings. It's a little bit too much work. It was harder in the past. Nowadays, with the internet, now we can track a little bit better what's going on. But it's definitely a very good answer. Like before, the TV signal was sent from somewhere from the antenna. We don't really have the feedback. Just a few houses had this thing with the TV ratings. And on the other side, we will see here the product is destroyed in the process of making the observation. Battery lifespan. That's true. Like, you can test every single battery until the end, because otherwise you will end up without battery. Like, what are you going to sell? So, amazing example. Let me open the chat so I don't miss anything. Nothing in the chat just yet. And for time's sake, I can see it's 5:15. I will move on. I will show you the answers I put. Let me close this one. Also, I will erase just your annotation. I hope you guys don't feel offended about it, but I gave a little bit. So our census will serve the whole populations, as a few of you guys have already explained, and our sample survey will only serve part of the population to sample. Like, that's basically the words we use, right? And excellent answers you guys had. A census would be too expensive for example, market research to launch a new product. Like, companies are doing it constantly. And I can tell you by my experience working for the other company I worked before, Procter & Gamble, we do a lot. And like, for products that we haven't launched, for products that we're planning to launch, and to understand if we should launch all the products. So this happens all the time. You can't just census the whole population on it. Election polls. Sometimes you just need things daily. You can't ask everybody in the country for election polls. And basically, I put it like a general thing, like everything that has a very like target audience. On the other hand, here, things that are destroyed. Tasting the chips at the end of production line. So if you open everything to taste it, it's really crispy, it will end up without anything to sell in the end. It's the same example that Cole used, testing the resistance of a brick. So if you're smashing a brick, making sure it's as resistant as it's needed, you can't smash the whole set of bricks that you're going to sell, right? And basically, as a general thing, a quality assurance in a manufacturing line, it pretty much summarizes most of the examples you're going to use for this question. And in the end, all the things that we're not touching with this too. Not enough time to census the population. Sometimes, as I mentioned in the poll, sometimes you need a quick result, or it could be too expensive, or sometimes, even if you're able to measure elections poll 1 month before, you probably want another one because people change their mind after the campaigns. They launch a new campaign. So this is one thing. The other thing I listed here, data availability. Sometimes you might use secondary data, and for example, GDP numbers. Sometimes you can just jump in, grab data that is ready from the ABS, Australian Bureau of Statistics, or the RBA, the Reserve Bank of Australia. These are data that they're available for everyone. You just grab it and start working on it, instead of you're not going to measure GDP yourself, right? And for ethical reasons, like drug testing. So you're not creating drug from scratch and testing the whole population on it. It's too much risk. You probably will look for volunteers, or if you're trying to treat something, the first volunteers will be probably people who are already sick and really needing something else to help, just as an example. This is it for question 4. If you have any questions, sorry, it jumped in. If you have any questions, send them on the chat or open your mic for anything about question 4. Otherwise, I'll start walking towards question 5. Another check on the chats. We are all good, apparently. So it's 5:15 almost. So let's go. For each of the following random variables, let's try on one side, and I will already show you what I'm planning to do. I would like you guys to write it on the left and the right. Left side, let's try to say if the data is categorical or numerical. And in case it's numerical, let's say if it's continuous or discrete. And on the other hand side, let's say if it's nominal, ordinal, interval, or ratio. So the amount of money you spent buying clothes last month to the nearest whole dollar. It's an amount of money, right? It's probably a numerical thing. Very good answer. It's also discrete. This is interesting because money you can break down into cents, but cents are still not continuous. It's either $5 might be an understatement here. Like, let's say it's either $500.50 or $500.51. You can't go in between either of them. So money, it might be surprising for some of you, but it's discrete. It is a ratio. Good job. Why is it ratio? Because this is, it might not be what you're expecting if you haven't done it before, but the difference between interval and ratio is that when you say ratio, it means when 0 means the absence of something. And when it's an interval, and I'll give you an example, temperature Celsius, to stick with the lecture example, it's an interval because 0 Celsius is not really the absence of vibration or movement of the atoms. Actually, that would be the 0 Kelvin, which is somewhere around minus 270, 72, can't remember, Celsius. So the 0 in Celsius is not. Same as the calendar. We have different calendars, but year 0 is not necessarily the beginning of time or the absence of time. It's just a point, and we can go before or negative, right? So yeah, that's how it works for ratio and interval. Second one, the number of t-shirts you own, numerical, discrete. Yes, I hope you guys are not holding half shirts in your wardrobe. And this is also a ratio. If you have 0, it's the absence of t-shirts. Third one, the job title of different employees in a large department store. Yes, it is a categorical, especially because you're saying title. It's probably a name. So manager, director, I don't know if it needs for department store, probably yes, the department store is a large one, director, officer, assistant, and all the other people there. So names is categorical. Is it ordinal? Let's say no, it's just nominal. Depending on how it works, sometimes you might think it's possible to rank, but no, you guys wrote nominal and you were right. Second, D, the time you spent shopping for clothes last month in hours to 2 decimal places. It is numerical because it's time, and it's also a ratio, because if you spent 0 time, 0 minutes, or 0 seconds, then it means you didn't spend any. So it's the absence of doing that thing. I'm missing if it's continuous or discrete for question D. If you guys have a chance, I can definitely also mention something if you're uncertain about it. So categorical, when you go shopping for clothes during the week, weekday, weeknight, weekend, definitely categorical. We're not giving numbers to it, and this is nominal. It's not ordinal. We're not putting in order. If it's weeknight, weekend, and not really comparable, right? Finally, so for D, let me just step back a little bit. For D, it is continuous. The time you spent shopping for clothes last month. When it's money, you can't break down further because it stops on cents. Oh, if you look at the stock market, maybe a little bit different than that. They break a little bit further. But when it's time, usually you can literally, when you move, checking something with like with any chronometer or something to measure time, you can break down the seconds in smaller parts. So you can call it continuous in this case. Always calls for contention, but you can do that. So question E is set, categorical and nominal. Finally, question F, the type of transport you can use to go shopping. Definitely a categorical. when it's categorical, I don't think you need to say if it's continuous or discrete. You're fine just with categorical. And it is nominal, right? Thank you so much for giving the answers. I will move. We will raise now just to move to our ones. There we go. Categorical, numerical continuous. The ratios are nominal, right? Any question? Just shoot me. And it's already 5:20. I will keep on moving. Yeah. I can see one more. A discrete ratio. Oh, sorry, didn't see it before. So yeah, now it's the type of sampling that we're doing, right? Select a type of sample that has been formed in each survey. Same thing as before. Let me have a look. If you guys want to just write down which one you think it is, we have 3 of them. So let's go. The PPP company has 2,000 employees. The CEO wants to investigate job satisfaction. The employees are numbered from 1 until 2,000, and then 50 different random numbers are generated between 1 and 2,000. So everybody got a number, and we're going to run something in the computer, a random generator, right? A sample is formed by choosing the 50 employees whose number were generated. I saw a chat. Harry, amazing. Yeah, SRS for the first one. Yes, it's just a simple random sampling. Basically, everybody got a number and then send, and then we got the random of it. Second one, a small town has 10,000 people who are investors in one way or another. The proportions are 1 to 3 to 6 for government bonds, real estate, and stocks. To investigate investors' returns, our research randomly selects 20 bond holders, 60 real estate investors, and 120 stock investors to form a sample of 200. As you can see, we're getting the same proportion as that one. And the answer I have on chat from Harry is stratified, which is correct. This is how you do stratify. You just get, okay, I know the proportions, so let me get the relevant amount for each of it to make our sampling. And finally, the CEO of PPP company decides to break the 2,000 employees into 50 groups, each containing 40 employees. He selects randomly a number between 1 and 40 and selects the employee with this number. He then selects every 40th employee after this. So if he got, we have an example here for 3. If the first one was 35, which one would be the next one and the next one, right? Back to the chat, we have an answer here for Harry. It's a systematic, and it's correct. This is how systematic work. So if the first person who was chosen was the 35th, which one would be the next one chosen in this order, in this 2,000 employees? So we chose 35th, and now we will choose the 40th employee after the 35. Amazing, good job, Vol. It's the 7th. Yes, excellent, Harry, yes. So let's see, we have the answer here. Fantastic. Good job, guys. And finally, last question. Once again, should you have any question about the question 5, please jump in. For the next tutorial, I will try to be a little bit more concise and finish the tutorial by 5:20. So I give you guys time to ask things and discuss. But today we're passing maybe a little bit more. If you guys want to stay longer and ask things, discuss things, feel free. Also consultations. Now well, let me see, nothing new on chat. Then last question, question 6. A company employs 3,500 people in a random sample of 175. of these employees has been taken by systematic sampling, our last item in the previous question. The researcher would start the sample selection between what two values? That's the question, sorry. How would the researcher choose subsequent members of the sample, and where might the researcher obtain a frame for this study? So, I can see Harry posted his answer here. So basically, the number of employees is 3,500. Yes, good job. The sample, the space or the money or the time we have is to sample 175 employees. So to have the K, we're dividing the 3,500 by 175 equals 20. Good job, Harry, there. Therefore, you would start the sample with a selection between 1 and 20. Very good. I had a little advice here. This is taken from our not tutorial, from the lectures and slides. So decide a sample and make the methods. That's exactly what Harry did here. And let's go. The researcher could start at any number, for example, 10, and would select every subsequent 20. Excellent. That's the example. And frame for this study could be a list of employees. Exactly. Very good. Yeah, I think that's basically how you start the thing. I put as a frame. So my answer there, exactly what you did, Harry. So the research would start between 1 and 20. After select the first one at random, we would select subsequent that 20 later. I chose 16. It's like just a number I like. It's not really random. And the next one will be 36 and then 56, and there you go. For the list of employees, I said the same as Harry said, a list of employees that could be ordered, for example, by age or by first name or by last name. It could also be ordered somehow by sector they are. And there are many ways of doing that. It depends on what you want. Like sometimes if it's like amount of hours, I'll give you an advice. If it's amount of hours, how much hours can the employee work? Maybe ordering them by age would give you a good sample. Like, okay, there are a lot of young workers, so we're getting a lot of them in our sample. There are a few mature age workers. We're getting just a few of them for our sample. Just these are ways of doing it, right? And that is it for our question 6. Any question about it? Anything you didn't understand? You see the we can use the K here. K is the 20, and we're dividing our population number by our sample, the amount of observations we have for the population and for the sample. Observations are more simple usually. Yeah. And if we don't have anything, I will open the space here for us to talk and to ask more questions. What we started today, back to the list we had, was to define basic statistical concepts like parameter and statistic, the population sample, discuss different categories of data, numerical, categorical, if it's an interval or a ratio, if it's ordinal, or if it's just, or if missing one of the names, it's nominal or ordinal, and if it's an interval or ratio that I mentioned. So outline the differences between descriptive statistics and inferential statistics. You guys were very good giving answers, and discussing several sampling methods and associated errors, right? How we do that. Guys, now it's done. Feel free, if you don't have any questions, feel free to leave the tutorial. Otherwise, I'm happy to stay here. No worries, my pleasure. Yeah, see you on Thursday, or any of the consultations if you guys need. In terms of consultations, maybe it's always a good idea to attend the one the same tutor, just because of the IVA. Maybe you didn't attend all tutorials, but you showed up for consultations. But always, you need extra. If you need extra help, feel free to join any of them, especially on the consultations. look, you attended your tutor, but you would like a second opinion, or it's a day that your tutor is not giving a consultation, jump in and attend the other one. Don't hold yourself back, right? Yeah, and in terms of tutorial, in this case, make sure you attend the same tutorial as that you subscribe to, or if it's a situation as we mentioned before, talk to Dominic so we can know which tutorial you're supposed to attend at least. Okay, thank you so much, guys. Thank you for taking part of it. Was a great attendance. Thank you I hope you guys liked the polls and writing down a little bit. Let me know, give me feedback if you want. Hope that makes it a little bit more interactive. And I will actually stop recording here just in case you have any question you don't want to be recorded. You guys have a great night. See you later.
Thank you.
No
Thanks,
worries.
Francisco.
See you, Francisco.
No worries. My pleasure. I stopped sharing, guys. I hope I stopped recording too.